Hello. Okay, so today we're gonna make with the broth that I taught you earlier, or if you don't have that broth, it's fine. You just use any kind of organic broth you can have. We're gonna make a leek butternut squash soup with sage, rosemary, and garlic. Butternut squash is very high in magnesium, which is good for the nerves. It's very high in potassium, vitamin A. It improves your breathing, which is really good. The sage is really good to smooth the throat. It's actually high also in protein. It's an antifungal, so is the rosemary. It fights cancer. It's great for the stress. So this is really a powerhouse. We have the So in here now I have in the pan, I'm gonna show you. I put avocado oil. Hold on, the phone's about to fall. There we go. So avocado oil. There's just no flavor and it handles well the heat. I'm gonna put the sage. I just love the combination. Besides the benefits, the combination of butternut squash and sage is just so yummy. Here we have the rosemary. I like to put it on first, let it sweat out a little with the heat. I'm gonna use this time now to do the pepper. I put a lot of pepper because it gives a lot of flavor. And we're going to put the salt. Here's the salt to let it sweat. Now the first vegetable I'm going to put in is going to be the leeks. Leeks are like an onion, a garlic, but they're very good for you. They have a lot of sand, so when you cut them, you take a leek, you cut it in half, and you take it again, and then little strips, and you wash it 3-4 times in water. You see how I cut it tiny? I'm gonna cook this first to let it sweat and caramelize it a little bit to get rid of that oniony flavor. Once it's cooked and it's like caramelized, it's really delicious. Just like the onions, when you cook them, it just changes the flavor completely. Now I'm putting tons of it. It just cleans your kidneys. It's good for your blood. Leeks are such a powerhouse. Now you just get rid of the top really yucky end that's really too full of sand. Try to use the most of the green as possible. So I'll be back. So I'm I'm a culinary nutrition expert, and so if you need any help or want a consultation about how to organize your kitchen, or you want tips on prepping foods, organize a menu for you that is like easy peasy, you just want to do a consultation, just message me. We could do it by Zoom or in person. I usually come to the house and organize the kitchen in person, but now it's a little, I am being extremely careful, so I think everybody else should also. So we're gonna go back to our soup. We let this sweat, caramelize it a little. I like to put the lid on it, that way the steam stays in and all the nutrients, nothing gets wasted. Now we have butternut squash. You could use carrots also to add to this. And we're gonna sprinkle this on top. I'm gonna close it up and I'll be back. Okay, here we go. So you see it's steamed up, it reduced. Started to sweat, and the liquid was staying in. I want this to be cooking the most. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of celery. A little red pepper, because it'll be pretty. And some garlic, which we know it's like so good for you, and it tastes amazing. So the whole point of my foods is that they taste delicious, and they're good for you, and it's easy and economical. That is the point, especially these days. It's all about how you organize your kitchen. So this is in here now. And I'm going to take the broth that we made earlier, or the low sodium one that you buy, organic, and you just put some, not too much, just like that, just enough to cover. Now, if you want, you can add a can of chickpeas, or before we added the leeks, if you wanted to put chicken sausage or a sausage, you cut up the sausage, brown it with the leek before the leeks, and you add the leeks. That's a great, delicious option too. So I'm gonna let this simmer, cover it up, simmer low heat for an hour or two, and we'll be back. Here we are, 2 hours later, after it's simmered slowly. Now it's nice and yummy. It smells divine. It's all mushy. Oh my God, it's gonna be delicious. So I'm gonna cover it up. Now you could take a blender if you want to, or just let it be. Now I personally like to leave my soups cool down overnight in the cast iron pot, because it keeps the heat and it slowly lets it dissolve and cool down, and we don't shock it. So, because you can't put something hot in the fridge. So we're gonna let this sit, and it's still like very warm. So it's gonna keep on like still cooking a little bit, but it's turned off, and we'll see it in the morning. It will be nice and cool. Good night.